In a small coastal town where the waves whispered secrets to the shore, there lived a young woman named Lila. She carried a weight in her heart, a quiet ache from years of whispering to herself. I'm not enough. I'm unlucky. Nobody cares. Her days blurred into a cycle of chasing things she didn't have money to escape. Her rundown apartment, beauty to match the faces on billboards, a title that would make her feel like she mattered. Happiness, it seemed, was a fleeting shadow, always just out of reach. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of coral and gold, Lila wandered to the edge of the pier. The air smelled of salt and possibility, but her mind was tangled in familiar doubts. She sat on a weathered bench, her guitar resting against her knee, its strings untouched for months. Once, she'd poured her soul into music, but lately, the songs felt hollow, drowned out by her own harsh judgments. As she stared at the water, an old fisherman named Amos ambled by, his face creased like the pages of a well-read book. He'd seen Lila here before, always alone, always lost in thought. You look like you're carrying the world, girl, he said, his voice rough but kind. Lila shrugged, muttering, just feels like I'm missing everything. Amos chuckled, leaning against the pier's railing. You know, the sea don't complain about what it don't have. It just keeps moving, singing its own song. He pointed to her guitar. What's that thing got to say? Lila hesitated, her fingers brushing the strings. She hadn't played since she'd started believing her music wasn't good enough. But something in Amos's words stirred her, like a breeze lifting a curtain. She picked up the guitar and strummed a soft chord, then another. The notes felt like a conversation with an old friend. Without thinking, she began to sing, her voice trembling at first. I used to chase what I thought I lacked. Words like failure held me back. The words spilled out, raw and real, weaving a melody about letting go of the shadows in her mind. She sang of the lies she'd told herself. I'm a failure, I'm hated, and how they'd built walls around her heart. But as the chords grew stronger, so did her resolve. She sang of finding joy in the small things, the warmth of the sun, the rhythm of her own breath, the fact that she was here, alive, and enough. Don't tear yourself down. Don't dim your light. Amos listened, his eyes crinkling with a smile. When she finished, he clapped, slow and deliberate. That's your truth, Lila. Don't let nobody, not even yourself, take it away. That night, Lila walked home with a lightness she hadn't felt in years. The song, which she later called Sing of the Light, became her anthem. She played it at the town's weekly open mic, her voice carrying over the chatter of the crowd. People stopped, listened, and nodded, as if her words unlocked something in them too. Strangers shared their own stories of self-doubt. And soon, Lila's song was more than music, it was a spark. She didn't suddenly become rich or famous. Her apartment still creaked, and her mirror still showed the same face. But Lila stopped measuring her worth by what she lacked. She found purpose in the connections her music forged, in the way it reminded others to lift their voices too. Each time she sang, happiness blooms when you let go of strife, she believed it a little more. By summer's end, Lila's performances drew crowds to the pier. Locals and tourists alike would gather, some swaying, some singing along, all feeling a little less alone. And Lila, once weighed down by her own harsh words, stood tall, her guitar a beacon, her voice a reminder. I'm alive, I'm enough, and that's a lot. In that small coastal town, where the waves still whispered secrets, Lila's song became a story of light on that echoed far beyond the shore.